Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel if you are new here. Hello, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am a yoga instructor and a cat mom, and today I am extremely excited to be showing you guys my March plan with me. It is a lovely, cute little tea themed bullet journal this month, so go ahead and grab your tea and we will get straight into the plan with me. Hello everyone, happy March, happy Wednesday if you are watching this the day it goes live. If you're not, happy day, whatever day it may be. But anyways, again, happy March. I am still wrapping my brain around the fact that it has been a year since we really went into this big COVID pandemic lockdown. It just blows my mind to think a year has passed. But anyways, if you can't tell, the theme for my bullet journal this month is tea. Tea is my favorite drink, and ironically, I didn't even make a glass of tea when doing this journal this month, which normally I always have a glass of tea sitting there to drink while I'm journaling, but for some reason I decided to not go with it. So if you're noticing, I did a little bit of a dinosaur. I wish I kind of added a little bit more dinosaur throughout the journal spread itself, but I really like how it's kind of like a little by itself. And then I did go with the same font that I did for last month, just for my main kind of headers for each page. I really like how this font looks, so I thought by kind of keeping it the same throughout this year, it'll bring a little bit of familiarity and kind of make my bullet journal look like one instead of just a many different ideas and spreads slapped onto a page. And so we've already moved into my calendar page. So I went with a pretty large calendar this month. That was because last month I noticed that I really didn't have a lot of space to write as many things as I normally would like to write in my calendar section here. And I decided to go ahead and put my mood tracker here with my calendar. That way it keeps me constantly just coming back to this page, and since I'm going to be coming to this page a lot, I thought that the bigger that I could make this calendar, the more I could actually use it and come and look at it and understand it better than not really adding too little to it. And then, of course, for my mood tracker, I did go with 31 tea bags. And oh my gosh, drawing these 31 tea bags, both with my pencil and my pen, was a little tedious. If you don't know, I do go in with pencil before coming here and recording. I am prone to making a mistake, and you'll actually see this later. I made a big mistake, and I had to fix it, and I actually ended up making the mistake twice. But I also, like, for example, my cover page, I really didn't like my quote page this month, so I was able to go back and just make it, and I think I messed up on my quote page because I initially didn't think of one before when I was doing my pencil, and normally this is just something I do to really kind of pull all of my thoughts together and be able to come on here and just show you guys the final result. I think this way it kind of just, not only for me, kind of gets those mistakes out of the way and allows me to really come to a bullet journal that I can aesthetically enjoy and not have to be like, oh my gosh, that mistake, and look at it for the rest of the month. But anyways, so that is why I use pencil. I kind of forgot how I got on this tangent. Oh, we were talking about the tedious tea bags. So they were tedious, but it's okay. It was worth it. I think it turned out amazing. And I think at the end of the month, it's going to look 10 times as good as it does now. And we have already moved into my meal, income, and expense log and my grocery list. So I do like to put in a section for 5 meals during the month, and I kind of stick to these meals throughout the whole month, whether I'm just sticking to actually making the meals that I have set or just using the ingredients for these meals to make something else. I like that it kind of allows me to have freedom at the beginning of the month, but then kind of have that repetition, so I'm not constantly having to think about what meal I'm going to have during the semester when I know I can just come here, look at it, pull up the recipe on my Pinterest, and automatically know what I need for the recipe and how quickly I can get it done. So yeah, and then of course my expense and income log. I feel like these are very straightforward. They're where I do my expenses and I look at my income that comes in, and I just love having this on my bullet journal, in my bullet journal, excuse me. And then, of course, we're coming into my sleep log. This is something else that I do every single month. I really enjoy the way that it looks, but I also really like tracking my sleep because I do kind of have insomnia and I do get really bad migraines. So tracking my sleep really helps me kind of track my mood along with tracking my energy throughout the month. Excuse me. But then this month I did go ahead and decide to bring back a habit tracker. I didn't have one last month, or I did have one last month, but it was kind of like a week by week habit tracker that I added into my weekly spreads. And then in January, I did not have a habit tracker at all, and I decided to bring it back. But if you notice, I did kind of leave out the fact that I don't know what I'm tracking so far. This goes back to the fact that I kind of just forgot to write them in, and I didn't want to write a habit that I don't want to track. I think I'm going to be tracking my yoga, my meditation, journaling, working out, getting a gallon of water in, and then just some other things like taking my medicine, making sure I get my allergy shot once a week, kind of those things that are really simple. But I'm really excited to be tracking my habits. And then finally, we are getting into the weekly spread where I will walk you all through how I do my Dutch door. So I do a Dutch door during the semester. That way I can have a space for all of my classes, and that way I can just see each class and what is due. But before getting into that, I do just want to let you guys know that the black pen that I have been using is the Sharpie fine tip pen, and the marker that I have been using is the Crayola super tip pen. These are my go-to pens. I've been using them since I first started bullet journaling many years ago, and I just highly recommend. I wouldn't do it any other way. But so getting into the Dutch door, so there are 5 weeks in March. So for March, I did 5 weekly spreads, and at the bottom, I counted up 15 dots, or I think it's actually 12, but it can be whatever you want. And I drew a straight line across them, and I will be cutting across this line on every page except for the first page of the first week and the last page of the last week. And once those are cut, I am going to come in and cut through 2 other lines that I drew. So I drew 2 other lines. One says cut, one says do not cut, and these are just kind of where the Dutch doors will come in. And I kind of did a tier of 3 dots to kind of help me see where I should cut and where shouldn't I cut. So there's one line that says do not cut, and then the second line that says cut. And if you just saw, I really messed up. I accidentally cut 2 pages at once, and instead of doing what I ended up doing later, I ended up just going and cutting 3 more dots on each page, but then I did it again. I cut 2 pages at once, so then I decided to come in with a with some tape and just tape back one of the ones that I cut, and then I ended up just drawing over it so you couldn't really see a difference. I wish I would have done this for the first mistake that I did. That way it was just an easy fix and I didn't end up having just really small sections. And since the final fifth door was extra long, I decided to go with a little quote. I hope this made sense. It was very quick, but it's kind of self-explanatory. You can just kind of look at it and see that, okay, she cut the top and then she tiered the bottom. And then I did just go ahead and add in my classes and filled in the rest of the days on this page. And then I decided I did not like my quote page at all. Like I said a little bit ago, I didn't know what I was going to do for my quote page, and I kind of regret not thinking of this before starting, but I ended up just adding a boatload more of teacups, and actually I have kind of been using this as a little de-stressor when I'm in class and I'm getting overwhelmed. I kind of just come back to this page and add another little teapot, so keep an eye over on my Instagram if you want to see how this hey there, hot tea turns out in the end. But moving into our final flip through, here we go. So that was my cover page. Here is the final look at my mood and calendar tracker for the month. And just everything else, I really enjoy how this journal turned out this month. Even if I did make mistake after mistake that I try to get rid of before coming and recording. But in the end, we do make mistakes, and that is completely okay, and it's my favorite part about bullet journaling because you get to come up with creative ways to kind of fix these mistakes that you've made. So anyways, that was my monthly spread, my monthly plan with me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to show you guys what April's turns out looking like. But I'm going to go ahead and let Sarah in the chair take over. So there you have it. That is my final flip through of my March bullet journal. That is my plan with me. And I really hope you guys enjoyed how this little tea theme turned out. I know I am in love with it, even though if I did make a few mistakes here and had to change up a few things along the way, I did really end up loving how it turned out. And if you did too, please let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up and commenting what your favorite part of this month's bullet journal was down in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so that you are a part of this family, and turn on those bell notifications so that you are notified every time I post. I post every Sunday with a yoga video, and on Wednesdays I post a lifestyle or journaling style videos. So until next time, enjoy your month, and I will see you all later.